my talk today is called Navigating a New World. And when we think about what has gone on over the past, well, the past number of years, especially the last four since lockdown, there's a shift that has occurred for many people, creating some discomfort for some, and maybe some opportunity for some others, but it's really changed a lot of things. And the big changes are causing a ripple effect that can be quite difficult for many people in our society today. So what do we do about that? How do we shift that narrative where things feel like they're stuck or they're difficult, and how do we move it so that we can begin to flourish yet again? And I think it's really important that we check into what we're thinking about when we realize that we build a mental equivalent in our mind. We create a picture, so to speak. And because it creates a vibration, we are energy. That energy then circulates and attracts to it similar energy. So when we're looking at our day-to-day experience, when we get up in the morning, what is the first thing that we do? Get excited? Yay, it's morning. Woo! So excited. Or do we just sort of pull the covers up and go, no, not now, I'm still tired? See, we have a choice about that too. We can get up in the morning, we can hop up out of bed and go, woohoo, it's morning. How great is this? It's another day. I'm on the right side of the grass. So, what am I going to do with this day? So, when we're navigating the world that we currently live in, which feels very different than maybe it did in 2019, what is it that we can do to improve the quality of our own lives? And there's a few things we can do. For me, the most important thing is how I start my day. So if we get up in the morning and we're kind of crawling through the motions and thinking about, oh, I need more sleep, I don't like this, I don't want to go to work today, I want to take it easy. If that's what's going through our mind, we begin to create an energy around ourselves. And that energy is very powerful and attracts more of the same. So imagine that you get up in the morning and you're feeling all down and out and blah, and you go out into the world with that blah. You know, it shows on your face, it shows in your energy field, and all of a sudden people are kind of backing away, going, "Oh, let me go talk to somebody else." Whereas if we get up in the morning and we start with gratitude, I am so grateful to be on this side of the grass. I'm so grateful to be able to draw breath. I'm so grateful to be able to show up today in a way that inspires others to show up in their authentic wholeness. And how do we do that? One day at a time, we take time to check our thinking, right? The mind builds the body. And by body, I'm not just talking about this that I'm living in, but I'm talking about the world around me. That's the body of God, right? When we think about the idea of God or spirit, universe, what we're thinking about is an energy that was never created, can never die, but continues constantly in one form or another. It simply changes form. So what causes that change? The way we think. It is our thinking that moves this intelligence into form. So the importance of our thought is beyond anything that maybe we even realized before. And I think back to many of the different religious texts and things like that that talk about, number one, our oneness. We are one with all that is, and if there's oneness, there can't be two, right? If there is one thing, there is one thing, and we live, move, and have our being in it. So when I'm thinking, I'm moving the universal energy and I'm moving it according to that train of thought that I'm on. So if I'm having a bad day and I think everything's working against me, then I get to draw into my experience probably plenty of opportunities that will match that. However, if I get up and I go, yeah, it's another new day, let's have some fun, let's play, let's sing, it's a wonderful world. Yeah, we could sing that. If we were doing that, if I get up in that mood, what happens is everywhere I go, people are smiling, people are happy. I tend to draw into my experience a lot more joy. And when I come across maybe somebody who's having a rough day, because I'm filled with light and with love, oftentimes their energy will be lifted as well. So we have a choice. We can go into a room and succumb to the darkness, or we can go into the room and be the light, right? And we know that if you walk into a dark room and light a match, that room, immediately you can begin to see. So what light are you bringing? So the practices that I do, getting up in the morning, doing my very best to be grateful, number one. Gratitude is one of the most powerful things we can do. When we are grateful for who we are, where we are, what's going on, more gets added to that, more good comes. When I'm feeling a sense of joy and celebration, what I'm finding around me is more people who are joyful and celebratory, and that again lifts the energy and creates more exciting things. It also improves sort of the thinking process that goes on for me, because when I'm happy, it's like the creative juices are flowing. There's more ideas coming, and when I think about how the universe uses us, the way it does is through the thoughts that we think. So if I'm thinking positive, exciting, uplifting thoughts, then I am bringing into my experience more of the same. So we have a choice as to how we show up in life. So gratitude, number one. Number two is taking time in the silence. Taking time in the silence. Time to simply be. Eckhart Tolle wrote a book called The Power of Now. And in that book, he talked about the importance of being. Now, we as humans, we know we're human beings, and yet we tend to live like we're human doings, trying to do this or do that, go here, go there, whatever it is that we've got going on. And what we want to do is switch that around and do it differently. And how do we do it differently? We do it differently by taking time to simply be, taking time to rest, taking time to allow the moment to be whatever it is. So gratitude, silence. And I know life gets busy and it's like, oh, how do I find the time to do this or do that? Well, we make the time. We make the time to do it. And how we make that time is we just show up and go, okay, now what? What's life calling me to today? And I can react to what's going on, or I can begin to smile and celebrate and go, just is what it is. You know, today is a different day than normal, and you know what? It's all good. Somehow, whatever's happening is moving us into a place of being that is absolute perfection. And we just need to listen to that internal something that tells us or suggests to us what's next. So gratitude, silence, meditation. So meditation is not what a lot of people think. Sometimes people think it's, you know, I'm going to make my mind go completely blank and I'm going to sit for an hour and it'll be great. I don't know about you, but making my mind go blank is a bit of a task. So what do we do in meditation? What is the purpose of it? And I think of it as a training ground. We're training our mind. We're training our mind to think along the lines we would like it to, rather than to let it run wild. It's a little bit like having a 3-year-old running around in a candy store. Yeah, it might be a problem. Well, if our mind is running around like that, spinning stories, spinning tales, worrying, what if, what if, what if, oh, this happened, oh no, this is terrible. If we've got that running, then what happens is we've created a lot of suffering and discomfort and pain in our life and experience, all because of the way we've been thinking. So what we're doing in meditation is we're observing what it is we're thinking, because if there's something that needs to be changed, it begins in mind. So we start there. If we're not satisfied with our life, we're not happy with our life, if we're navigating this new world that we live in and we're griping and complaining about it constantly, well, guess what? It's going to be a problem, right? We're going to attract to us more of the same. But if we can go through the day, boy, this mic, it's not staying on the way it's supposed to. It keeps moving. So if we want to turn around and live from a place of heightened awareness by training our mind and beginning to focus our attention in a new way, what happens is we also allow ourselves to notice, observe, and shift where needed. So how do we change our thinking? It's pretty easy, actually. New perspective, right? We begin to look at things from different points of view, and we start to see that there's many ways of looking at any different situation. So what are we looking at and what are we hoping for? So the journey that we're on is really about awakening, expanding, and allowing. It's about changing our mind a little bit so that we can create the life we'd like to live. Have you ever had a dream? Something really great and wonderful that you wanted to do that was outside of the norm of your daily activity? Well, I have a dream. I have a dream of creating a musical. And when this dream first came to me, I thought, well, that's kind of a ridiculous dream because I'm not a musician. But then I realized recently that I don't have to be a musician to write this show. I need to know musicians who could be in the show, but I don't need to be a musician. And I realized that by having that vision, there's something in me that knows how to do it. There's something in me that is fully aware of what needs to happen and how and when, and all I need to do is shift my thinking and perspective so that I can allow it to occur. And the way that I do that, again, through meditation, I start to see the patterns of my thought. I start to see the habitual patterns that maybe aren't working for me that I can change. So as I'm writing this show, I'm allowing myself to stretch, to look at what I do know and to apply that, and to recognize that what I don't seem to have at the moment, I obviously don't need right this second. And when I do need it, it will show up. So again, meditation is about training my mind to think in a new way so that I might create a new reality moving forward. And that really excites me. So daily meditation is part of that practice. And of course, we started with a prayer treatment, and that's also another tool. You see, when we're moving along and we're seeing something in life that feels blocked or stopped and we can't seem to get past it, by moving into a prayerful state, we can begin to shift our thinking to a place of greater what? Greater opportunity or possibility, okay? I change my thinking. I interrupt the pattern that has been habitual, and I find a way of moving into an energy of, if I could look at this differently, what might I see? And just by having that thought, ideas will come, things will show up. So the journey that we're on, this journey of living in this world that we live in now, with its problems and its joys, when we look at this world today, what I know is that it is moving, changing, altering, and that whatever's needed somehow shows up. I don't know the very best way for you to live your life, and I'm working on figuring out the best way to live my own. But in finding my own power, my own strength, my own inner guidance, What I do is then live from that place, which allows me to model a behavior that might work for you, or at least might inspire you to do something for you that really works for your highest and best good. When I think back to some of the training I had, and part of that training was in biblical scripture, and I don't talk about the Bible a lot, but one of the things that stands out for me is right in the book of Genesis, when God says to Adam, whatever you name a thing, that's what it will be for you. And he gave him power to name. What that means to me is there is an aspect of me that has the ability to name and to claim. So what am I naming things? And if I'm naming life is hard and it's difficult and it's horrible and it's awful, guess what it is? Hard, horrible, difficult, awful. I named it, I claimed it. But what if I change that around? What if I change it around and I go, hey, wait a minute, what if life is beautiful and interesting and always changing? What if life is exciting and inspiring? What if that were the case? Because if I think that way, I could begin to create that way. I remember a minister in LA who would talk about getting up in the morning and just revving herself up first thing in the morning in the mirror. I'm a champion, I'm a champion, I'm doing great things, life is good, I'm happy. And that would be the energy she'd take into her day. What energy and what words are you using that are defining the experience you're currently having? And if you could change it, would you? Questions, questions, questions. So many questions. Navigating a new world means that I show up in a new way. It means that I stand in this moment and choose a new thought. It means that I have power over my life. Yes, and you do too. The power you have is within you, and it's just a matter of allowing yourself to turn to that, to tap into it, to trust it, and to begin to live from it. By doing that, you create a world that is powerful, positive, and productive. A world that actually supports not only your highest and best good, but that of others as well. So it's a journey. It's a journey that we're on, and it's beautiful and it's perfect, and it unfolds according to our own belief system. So what is it that you believe? Do you believe the world is really hard right now and difficult and broken and flawed? Or do you believe that you are a child of the universe, strong and mighty, beautiful and powerful, intelligent and remarkable? Because if you can believe that, you get to be right. You see, the universe only ever says yes. Yes to what I believe, yes to what I think, yes to what I put out. That's what the universe says yes to. Is it saying yes to my fear, doubt, and worry, or is it saying yes to my excitement, joy, and just thrill at living? You see, it's up to us. Any way, any day, however I choose it, that's how it's going to be for me. So I invite you to look at the language that you use and check your thinking. If thoughts create the mold that will then manifest in my world, am I happy with the mold I've created? Am I happy with the ideas that I have put out? Am I ready to live what I've just said? Or am I ready to change my thinking so that I might change my life experience and have a greater experience of joy and peace and possibility? You see, it is up to us. We get to create it according to our own consciousness. So let's go into a meditation, and let's just take this idea and anchor it into our awareness and make it a part of all that we do. So I invite you, if you're comfortable, just to lower your gaze or close your eyes, and we'll just take a couple of minutes in this place of stillness. So I invite you to take a deep breath in and just relax your body. Another deep breath. And just feel yourself relax a little bit further. And one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, just allow your awareness to go deep inside to that heart center. And just feel the energy of love, that oneness energy that moves out from the heart space to fill the entire body, lighting up every cell. And feel that energy just moving even beyond your physical body to fill the room that you're in. And again, it's an energy of warmth, of love, of peacefulness. It's this giant circle of possibility. And as you imagine that energy moving, picture it as a golden light that emanates right from the core of your being, moving out even beyond the walls of this room. Imagine that light expanding. Beyond the walls of this building, filling the entire city with this vibration of love and acceptance. And notice that every person feels something in their heart. Something that lifts. And imagine that going beyond the city. Imagine the world as this beautiful blue ball, and this energy of love just wrapping itself all the way around it, touching hearts and minds everywhere. Feel the vibration of acceptance, of peacefulness, as there's a shift that happens globally, creating a new sense of harmony and possibility in our world. It is a new day, a new moment, time of possibility. And so I welcome this new moment. I welcome this new idea or bigger idea. I see peace and love filling minds and hearts everywhere. And the result is powerful, remarkable, and beautiful. A peacefulness settles around the entire planet that shifts the energy completely. And so sitting in this place of deep peace, this place of acceptance and love, I allow joy to bubble up from deep within and to radiate out from my body into the energy field of all that is. And everything is transformed. As I'm navigating this new world, I'm doing it with love. And the shift is remarkable. So I'm filled with a deep sense of peace and gratitude. And I invite you just to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just beginning to awaken more to this space and time. And allowing this moment to be the gift that it was meant to be. Knowing that all is well. And so it is.